What's up, math scholars and math haters? This is Mr. W. We're going to tackle question 22 of the third grade math questions that North Carolina released this past school year. We're asking to say what fraction is represented by point L on this number line. And we've got point L, it's somewhere between 0 and 1. There's a line kind of splitting that in half. So in order to do really well on a question like this, you got to know fractions and you got to know how to use number lines. So to start with, let's look at this as a number line. We have 0, we have a line right between there, and we have 1, which means that we've got two spaces here. Each of these spaces represents the same quantity, the same number, even if it's a number that's smaller than 1. Since two of these represent 1, each of them is going to represent 1/2. And now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all my stuff has the same fraction form. So 0, I'm going to write as 0/2, and then 1, if we think of an entire circle split up into two pieces, and I have both of those pieces, that's 2/2. And now, we can look at point L and see that if this is 1/2, point L is definitely not on the 1/2. So that's done. Choice A is out. And at this point, we've got thirds and we've got fourths. So I'm going to go ahead and try to split this up even further. 0/2, I'm going to write again and say that this can also be 0/4. 1/2, if I multiply my numerator and denominator by 2, that gets me the other way to represent this fraction, the other equivalent way, as 2/4. Okay, 2/4 is one of our answer choices, but 2/4 is 1/2. And our point's definitely not at 1/2, so it's definitely not at 2/4. All right, so 2/2, I'll go ahead and go back to the circle diagram I drew and split this up into 4 pieces. And the entire circle represents all 4 of those 4 pieces, so I'll write that as 4/4. All right, so now we're looking for some number that's between 2/4 and 4/4. The obvious choice is 3/4, but I also want to knock out 2/3 very quickly. And the way that I'm actually going to do that is I'm going to imagine drawing some lines that represent thirds. Now this is very, very rough, but even from my rough drawing, we can see that 2/3 is way too far left to be anywhere near point L. So 2/3 is out as well, leaving the only answer left to be 3/4, which makes sense because 3/4 is going to be right between 2/4 and 4/4, and it looks like point L is right between 1/2 and 1. Now you can use this visual trick to solve this. That's completely fine, especially on a test if you don't know how to do this other stuff. But I did want to go through the other stuff because that's how North Carolina wants you to think about this type of question.